What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got wonderful news about the new Digimon trading card game. Now remember, I've been sharing this game with you for the last 7 months. I've been super excited about an English release, and just a few days ago I brought you news of an English release, and oh my goodness, was that a particularly exciting thing. Well, we've got a little bit more news, with questions, and brings in a few more questions. So it's probably time we had a little bit of a look. Now, some news that did actually come down around about the time that they did actually announce a set, but we didn't cover in the previous video. The starter decks have been confirmed. So those starter decks that they had over in Japan, Gaia Red, Cognitus Blue, and Heaven's Yellow, they have all been confirmed as coming, and they have been confirmed as coming at the same time. On the Facebook group, it literally says, free starter decks and booster packs will go on sale at the same time. So we've got a January 2021 release for the game as a whole, though do remember there is a November super pre-sale, so presumably the starter decks are going to be available in January, and presumably they are also going to be available for the super pre-sale. It would seem weird if they weren't included. So that's kind of cool. We do not have a look at the deck list of these at the moment, but it is a very, very fair assumption to assume that they will be exactly the same decks, with one exception. I'll get there in a moment. They've got the same artwork, they've got the same name, there's the same 3 of them. If you looked at the boxes, they are the same deck. And I've had a bunch of people asking me, by the way, I've had so many of you get in touch since the game got announced for an English release. Thanks to everyone that got in touch, that's awesome. I've had friends that were on the fence who have now got in touch saying, yeah, I definitely want to play it. I've had a bunch of my friends that run card stores, both physical and online, asking me if they should stock the game. Obviously, I said yes to all of them. The excitement has been kind of palpable, and that is awesome. And one of the questions I've had over and over again is, are the starter decks worth it? And the answer is a loud, resounding yes, they absolutely are. The best way I can put it is this. Each of these decks, now there are 50 cards plus 4 digit armor. And as it stands at the moment, with a couple of promo reprints notwithstanding, and there's only 3 of them, these are exclusive cards that can only be found in the starter decks. And some of these are still seeing play, even though we're 2 full expansions down the line because the starters came out first. That should tell you everything you need to know. In terms of counts, now I did do openings of all 3 of the starter decks, I'll link that one in the description, but essentially you do not get a playset of everything. You get a playset of most cards, but there are a couple of cards in there you only get 2 versions of. So if you do want playsets of everything, you will need to buy 2 of each of these. Will they be as cheap as they were in Japan? No price has been announced yet, but the answer is no. No, they will not be as cheap as they were in Japan. And this is a point at which I actually need to interrupt my own video, because you see, between me recording this video and me posting this video, the official Facebook page has actually updated with a price. Incidentally, they have also confirmed that you do get a 54 card deck. Again, there is no confirmation they're exactly the same deck list as the ones in Japan, but they've still got the same artwork, the same names, and now the same number of cards, so it is overwhelmingly likely that they are exactly the same. And we have an MSRP, a manufacturer's standard retail price of $9.99. Well, for a full 50 card deck with 4 digit armor, that ain't too bad. Some of you will be slightly perturbed that these were the equivalent of $5 in Japan, but there are 2 things I have to say about this. Number 1, Japanese cards are cheaper, and $10 for a starter deck is still pretty gosh darn good. Number 2, these actually do have a booster pack in. You get an additional booster in each of these to bump up the value quite a bit. So okay, you can look at these as $5 decks in Japan, but then you get a booster as well, which is a $4 booster. So even then you're talking $9, and again, $5 in Japan was silly cheap. Although I've seen a bunch of people saying that you don't get 500 yen, $5 decks over in Japan in other games. It's not actually true. Pokemon have done some lately and other games have as well. So, although cheap, and don't get me wrong, that is good value, it's not unheard of in Japan. The fact of the matter is, $9.99, $10 for these. And I've said they are really good decks. They've got all exclusive cards. They've got full ready-to-play decks. Some of the cards in here do see competitive tournament play, bearing in mind that the only place to find them. And you get a booster as well for $10. These are awesome, and they are phenomenal value. Alright, back to the regular video now. Now, the second piece of news, we don't actually have very much news, unfortunately. We're kind of a little bit in the dark. There are some hints going around on the Facebook group. So when they made the announcement, they said, for the core fans that can't wait, there's a special campaign planned. Details will be revealed next week, which is this week. Okay. And they also said, stay tuned for more details on how you can get your hands on promo packs prior to release. We don't know what those promo packs would be. Now, the logical suggestion would be that they are just the 6-card promo packs that were released in Japan prior to the release of the game proper. But it is worth noting that the Patamon from those promo packs was shown off in the promo video that they used to announce the game coming out globally. And we can't see exactly what's going on, but it does look like there might be a P at the beginning of the set symbol there, where they're actually saying what set it is. So that's something to keep an eye on. I would imagine it's probably going to be those original promo packs. So that's kind of cool, I suppose. That's something to get a little bit excited about. We have very little news about this. We know that there is going to be some kind of promotional thing happening before the proper release of the game. We don't actually know what that thing is, unfortunately, but there'll be news this week, and you know the deal by now. When the news comes out, I'm going to let you know. Now, the third and final piece of news which we need to talk about today is that box toppers have been revealed, have been announced, have been confirmed. But there's more than one. Now, what we're told is there are 2 types of cards exclusive as box toppers. The first are Japanese magazine promos. We will announce more info soon, so keep your eyes on our webpage. And there is a picture of a promo booster pack, which is clearly the magazine promos. And then we've got a picture of one of the box topper tamers. We'll get to the tamers in a minute, but to have a quick look at these promos, basically there are 6 of them, and that's because there were 2 issues of a magazine called V-Jump in Japan that gave you a pair of promos, and 1 issue of a magazine called Psycho Jump which gave you a pair of promos. So as it stands, these are the 6 promos that were magazine exclusive. Now, we can see that there are 6 of them in there in total, and we can see that you get 2 cards per pack. And you can see they've actually segmented the artwork on the front of the pack. So the blue promos are in the top left, the red promos are in the top right, and the V promos, the blue ones as well, I suppose, are at the bottom. So and this is not confirmed, let's be clear, this is not confirmed, but my reaction to this is you're going to get one of those 3 pairs of promo, because they are very much a pair of promos. They work. I've done videos about all of these. I'll link them in the description. But these are very much a pair of promos. All 3 of them are 3 pairs. So it would make sense that you would get the Agumon and the Greymon, the Garurumon and the War Greymon, etc. in the same pack, rather than just getting 2 random ones. That is my inkling, though we do not have confirmation of it. Hopefully you can buy 3 boxes and get all of those box toppers. That would be cool. For anyone that's wondering from a playability standpoint, the ones at the bottom, the second lot of blue promos, they are still actually genuinely, legitimately good. We've got the Taichi V-Tamer, which if you got a Digimon that's got Veedramon in its name, you can rest it to either draw 1 or give one of your Digimon an extra 1,000 power until the end of your turn. But it's worth pointing out we've got some Digimon coming in the Veedramon line that do have skills that activate when you rest a tamer, and this is a 2-cost tamer that can rest itself and draw. That's pretty good. And then the Veedramon Zero has also seen a little bit of play and a little bit of love. It's alright. When you attack, if you've got a blue tamer, you can discard 3 cards from the top of your deck to get an extra 2,000 power. And then when you attack, you can put 3 non-Digi-Egg cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck and draw a card. So it can act as a little bit of draw as you go. It's kind of a cool card. Really, the best of the promos is the Tamer. That does still see play in a bunch of blue decks over in Japan, and that is the most exciting of them. Certainly in terms of metagame relevancy, they are the main ones. But you never know what's going to happen in the future. Now, the other ones we're not given much information at all. We are just shown one Tai Kamiya. That's all we're shown. But that tells us quite a bit. You see, what we've got here is the Box Topper promo. And we actually had 5 Box Topper promos of Tamers in New Evolution. And then we had 5 Box Topper promos in Ultimate Power. So we've had 10 in total. How are we getting these? Now, the way it's basically worked in Japan is you buy yourself 1 box and you get yourself a booster pack with 1 random box topper. Now, it should be noted that all of these are alternate arts of Tamers that are to be found in the set proper. What that means is you do not actually need these cards. They're cool and they're shiny and they're fancy. But you do not need these box toppers. That's very important to note. They are alternate art, full art, shiny, fancy versions, but they're not necessary unless you're really trying to bling out your deck. But we know that we are going to be getting 2 sets that combine the first 3 Japanese sets. Now, assuming that the theory holds, the pattern holds, then Union Impact, the next set in Japan, should have 5 box toppers, which would give us a grand total of 15. So does that mean we're going to get 8 in one set and 7 in the other? And does that mean we're going to still get the 1 booster pack with 1 box topper? Because in Japan, you have to buy 5 boxes without getting a double in order to actually get all of the box toppers. Over here, we'd have to buy 7 or 8. That would be weird. So are we going to get a pack with 2 or 3 of these promos as box toppers? Or the alternate arts, or are they just going to just literally be that exclusive and that sought after? Given that they're alternate arts, I'm really not that opposed to them just being super rare and you get 1 per box, and there are 15 over the first 2 sets, and essentially deal with it. The magazine promos which are not in the set are way more important, because you can actually use them to build decks you couldn't build otherwise. These Tamers, they're cool, don't get me wrong, they're very cool, but they are just alternate arts of ones in the set. Either way, you buy yourself a box and you get something in the way of alternate art Tamers, and you get yourself a pack with 2 of the exclusive magazine promos. It's a good reason, or indeed several good reasons, to go and buy yourself boxes rather than just buying singles or packs. Either way, they seem to be taking this seriously, bringing over the starter decks, having booster packs in them, and the starter decks, I cannot stress how great they are. We're having some kind of pre-release promotion, we're getting 2 different kinds of box toppers, and you'll notice that what Bandai are doing is going, oh, let's make sure they've got, sets 1 to 3 as soon as we can. That's why we're having bigger sets for the first 2. Oh, and let's also make sure they get these magazine promos that they couldn't get elsewhere. Oh, and let's make sure we give them these alternate art box toppers as well. They are really going all out to make sure we're getting all of the cards that Japan have had. I think we should all be pretty gosh darn thankful for this, ladies and gentlemen. That's kind of cool. Also, as somebody who has imported all of these Japanese magazines to get the promos, I have no ill feelings at all. I'll have Japanese and English versions, and I will be delighted. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about all of this wonderful news, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wasi. That's where we talk about a bunch of games, including Digimon, and I get overly excited about a bunch of games, including Digimon. And to be honest, with the English release, that's the thing I'm getting most excited about right now. Although Rise of the Red Skull is a really good Marvel Champions expansion. Anyway, follow me on Twitter at The Wasi, and do check out patreon.com/PTCG Radio. You can support the channel, get weekly bonus podcasts. There's cool stuff over there. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.